Welcome to our session on critical thinking. Today, we'll be exploring Chapter 4, Critical Thinking. I'm excited to discuss how we can foster critical thinking in our classrooms. In this session, we will explore the primary goal of classroom instruction, ways to foster thinking in students, the outcomes of critical thinking, and why it is essential for the 21st century. In traditional classrooms, the emphasis has often been on imparting skills and knowledge, focusing on completing tasks rather than fostering genuine understanding. This approach can lead to passive consumption rather than active engagement with the material. Asking thought-provoking questions is key to engaging the brain and stimulating both the retrieval of stored knowledge and the pursuit of new information. Therefore, effective teaching methods should focus on gathering facts and knowledge, categorizing information for retrieval, analyzing data for relevance, and applying knowledge to problem solving. Critical thinking permeates all areas of learning and is not taught as an isolated subject. Methods such as inquiry-based learning, the notebook method, and diversity of learning preferences, like multiple intelligence, are intertwined to promote thinking and reasoning skills. As society becomes increasingly reliant on AI, learners must develop the ability to think logically, evaluate evidence, discern truth, and analyze arguments. This prepares them for an AI-driven future. For example, the notebook method and inquiry-based learning can be used to stimulate critical thinking across various subjects. This process involves researching to gather information, reasoning by asking questions and analyzing data, relating observations to real-world applications, and recording insights and observations. Problem-solving and decision-making are crucial aspects of learning. In mathematics, for instance, students solve practical problems related to accounting or agricultural practices, applying mathematical concepts to real-world scenarios. Inviting professionals to share their experiences provides students with practical insights and encourages them to ask relevant questions. Engaging students in designing math problems reinforces their understanding of mathematical concepts and their applicability. Students transition from passive recipients of knowledge to active learners, equipped with problem-solving skills and a curiosity-driven approach to learning. This shift from traditional lecture-based teaching to interactive learning environments is vital for nurturing competent thinkers and problem solvers. Critical thinking is initiated through thought-provoking questions, leading learners to observe, describe, explain, interpret, and make connections. Group discussions encourage diverse perspectives and the exchange of ideas, fostering critical thinking skills. Learners should be encouraged to provide evidence for their observations and analyses, promoting deeper engagement with the material. Metacognition, or thinking about one's thinking, is essential for effective learning. By reflecting on their learning processes, students can identify their preferred learning styles and strategies, enabling them to approach new material more effectively. Graphic organizers and mind maps are valuable tools for reinforcing metacognition, particularly for visual learners. Ultimately, teaching is most effective when it encourages active learning and facilitates students' discovery of insights for themselves. By shifting the focus from "what shall I teach" to "how will I help my students discover what they need to know," teachers empower learners to think critically and become lifelong learners. The use of graphic organizers or mind maps are valuable tools to reinforce metacognition. For example, students who learn visually can create a graphic to help them retain information, increase comprehension, and make connections. This tool is also useful for logical/mathematical and verbal/linguistic learners. When students understand that they are responsible for their own learning and how to increase the effectiveness of learning, they will actively seek the necessary skills. Schools have focused on imparting skills and knowledge as their chief goal. Educators have focused more on the completion of work and assignments than on a true development of understanding. The teacher tells the students what is important to know and do, and then has them practice that skill or knowledge. In such classrooms, little thinking is happening. Retention of information through rote practice isn't learning, it is passive consumption. Richard R. Churchmark and Morrison Karen. Making Thinking Visible, San Francisco, Jesse Bass, 2011. Here's a challenge for you. Utilize the notebook method to solve a personal or community issue, incorporating prayer, gratitude, and music into the process. Research relevant facts and ideas. Allow time for reflection and reasoning, and record your solution in your notebook. Remember, thinking and reasoning are gifts from God. Effective classroom instruction should stimulate thinking. Self-reliant individuals must apply knowledge and create solutions. Critical thinking is essential for discerning truth and making informed decisions.